It's 2025 and buying wireless earbuds has officially become overwhelming. Every brand claims they have the best sound, the smartest features, or the most advanced noise cancellation. So today, we're looking at the 5 best options available right now to figure out which ones actually live up to the hype and which one might be right for you. We're going to focus on what really matters: sound, comfort, noise canceling, call quality, and how well they fit into your actual life. Let's start with the budget-friendly wildcard that's turning a lot of heads, the Nothing Ear. Nothing's earbuds are kind of like that stylish friend who somehow makes a thrifted outfit look designer. The Ear A comes in this transparent case that looks like it came from the future, and while the design grabs your attention, it's the comfort that wins you over. They're featherlight, disappear in your ears, and stay comfortable even after hours of listening. Sound-wise, they're impressively balanced for the price. Bass is present but not overpowering, vocals are crisp, and the highs sparkle without getting harsh. It's the kind of tuning that works for almost any genre. The companion app gives you just enough EQ control to tweak things, but honestly, they sound good right out of the box. Active noise cancellation is surprisingly strong. Not turn off the airplane engine strong, but definitely ignore the chatty coworker strong. And the transparency mode sounds natural enough to hold a conversation without pulling them out. Battery life is solid too, and the mic quality holds up well for calls. For around $70, these things punch way above their weight. If you want stylish, functional earbuds that don't feel cheap or compromise majorly anywhere, the Nothing Ear A are an easy recommendation. They're not about chasing perfection, they're about balance, and they nail that. All right, now let's jump to a brand that does chase perfection: Sony. The Sony WF-1000XM5 are the safe bet. The I just want the best pick. Sony's been refining this line for years, and the XM5S feel like the culmination of that work. Smaller, lighter, and infinitely more comfortable than the XM4S, these are the definition of refinement. Pop them in, and you immediately understand why Sony dominates this space. The sound is warm, rich, and incredibly detailed. Bass is deep but clean, mids are full, and vocals sit perfectly in the mix. If you're on Android, you also get LDAC support for high-resolution audio, which makes your music sound just that little bit more alive. Then there's the noise cancellation, and this is where Sony still wears the crown. The XM5S handle low rumbles, conversations, and background chaos with ease. It's not total silence, but it's eerily close. And transparency mode finally sounds natural, not that weird artificial hiss you used to get a few generations ago. The app gives you near absurd levels of control: custom EQ, adaptive sound profiles, even the ability to pause your music automatically when you speak. Battery life, around 8 hours per charge with ANC on. If you want a pair that does everything well, sound, comfort, ANC customization, this is the one. The Sony WF-1000XM5SA are like the Swiss Army knife of earbuds. Not flashy, just consistently excellent. Now, if Sony's are the all-rounders, Sennheiser's Momentum True Wireless 4 are the audiophile's choice. These are what you buy when you want your music to sound exactly how the artist intended. Every detail, every breath, every tiny imperfection in the recording. The sound is beautifully natural. Deep, controlled bass, warm mids, and pristine highs that never get fatiguing. You don't get the artificial bass boost you find in some earbuds. You get clarity, texture, and realism. And if you've got a phone that supports aptX Adaptive or aptX Lossless, you're in for a treat. You can stream near CD quality audio over Bluetooth. It's one of those you didn't know what you were missing kind of upgrades. Noise cancellation here is strong. Not quite Sony level, but more than enough for commuting or working in noisy environments. The transparency mode is improved from the previous generation and sounds reasonably natural. Battery life is excellent too. Around 7.5 hours per charge, 30 with the case, and the case supports wireless charging. Build quality feels premium. Clean matte finish, sturdy hinge, no nonsense design. It's the adult in the room. These are for people who really listen. If music is your focus and you care less about smart features and more about pure fidelity, the Momentum True Wireless 4 are simply stunning. They're the Porsche 911 of earbuds. Oh, not showy, just precision engineering done right. All right, let's get a little sweatier. The Beats Fit Pro. If the Sennheisers are made for quiet listening rooms, these are made for movement. The built-in wingtip design keeps them locked in place during workouts, runs, or whatever questionable CrossFit routine you've gotten yourself into. The fit is tight but comfortable, and they're built to take a beating, sweat resistant, drop resistant, life resistant. Sound-wise, Beats has matured a lot since the bass Canon days. The Fit Pros still bring that energy, but now with better balance. Bass hits hard, but doesn't swamp the rest of the mix. Vocals are clear, highs are sharp, and the overall sound just feels lively. Perfect for playlists that get your heart rate up. Active noise cancellation is shockingly strong for fitness earbuds, easily on par with Apple's best, and transparency mode lets you hear enough to stay safe on the street. Because they use Apple's H1 chip, you get instant pairing, audio sharing, hands-free Siri, and spatial audio with head tracking. But Android users aren't left out either. Nay, the Beats app gives you controls and firmware updates too. Battery life clocks in at about 6 hours with ANC on, with the case giving you a few extra charges, and if you're in a rush, a 5-minute top-up gives you roughly an hour of playback. The Beats Fit Pro are the perfect middle ground, workout ready, but everyday friendly. They're secure, sound great, and integrate beautifully into Apple's ecosystem. For anyone who wants a mix of performance and practicality, these are a no-brainer. And finally, the ones that practically define this category, the Apple AirPods Pro 3. At first glance, not much has changed. They still look like AirPods, but Apple's refined everything that matters. They're smaller, lighter, and more comfortable thanks to redesigned tips and better internal venting. The new case even supports USB-C MagSafe and Apple Watch charging, because of course it does. Sound quality has leveled up. Apple's new custom driver delivers richer bass and clearer mids, while adaptive EQ tunes everything to your unique ear shape. The result is a sound that's balanced, smooth, and very Apple, nothing exaggerated, just effortless. The real magic, though, is in the noise control. Active noise cancellation is now some of the best on the market, rivaling Sony's. It blocks out nearly everything, from plain engines to keyboard clicks, while still avoiding that pressurized feeling. Transparency mode has also been upgraded to some, it's called adaptive transparency now, and it dynamically softens sudden loud sounds like sirens without distorting the world around you. It's freakishly natural to the point where you forget you're wearing earbuds. Then there's the integration. They pair instantly, switch automatically between devices, and now track your heart rate through the Health app. You can even find them using precision tracking in the Find My network. Battery life, up to 8 hours on a single charge, 30 with the case. Voice calls are clearer than ever, and for iPhone users, they're basically the gold standard. If you live in Apple's world, the AirPods Pro 3 are the obvious choice. They're not about specs, they're about polish. They just work. And that's the biggest luxury feature of all. And so which ones should you buy? It really depends on your priorities. If you want the best value, go for the Nothing Ear. A, stylish, comfortable, and solid across the board. If you want the best all-rounder, the Sony WF-1000XM5 still sets the benchmark for noise canceling and customization. If sound quality is your religion, the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 4 are a work of art. If you're all about fitness and movement, the Beats Fit Pro give you AirPods tech in a body that actually stays put. And if you're deep in Apple's ecosystem, the AirPods Pro 3 are as close to perfection as it gets. Everything just flows. The truth is, there's no single best earbud in 2025, just the one that fits your lifestyle. But whichever one you choose, these are all genuinely great products.